Children are dying again. Another mass shooting, Parkland, Florida. 18th this year in the United States. And that's just the mass shootings, never mind all the others that might be happening out there. You know that half of the mass shootings that have happened in the States have happened after 2005. Why? Because that's when the assault weapon ban ended. It's crazy. We hear people expressing their sympathy, and I'm certainly sympathetic, but that doesn't help very much, does it? Then you have people talking about, well, mental health. Absolutely agree that there should be more resources out there for mental health and all other kinds of sorts of health in the United States as well as mine, but that isn't the problem either. The problem is there isn't any gun control. The NRA is saying that there isn't a problem, and politicians are saying this is not the time to talk about it. The kids in Florida will disagree with you, and hopefully soon all kinds of other people will stand up and make themselves heard as well, because the NRA actually paid legislators to get the CDC, to prevent the CDC from studying gun violence. And the only reason they could possibly want to do that is that they know that there's evidence out there and they don't want it out there. But you know what? The rest of the world is watching this. The rest of the world can see that here's the rest of the world down here, and this here is the number of shootings per thousands of people, and this is the number of guns in the bottom. And here's the rest of the world right down here in the corner, and the United States is way up here, all by itself. Another way of looking at it. The great big black part of the pie there, that's the United States. The rest of the world is that smaller light gray area there. You know what? It proves that gun control works. It doesn't completely shut anything down. There's no perfect solution, but it shows that it works. And yet you're saying, no, we don't need we got enough regulations, or, we've got people telling me on Facebook I shouldn't be telling the United States how to do things because I'm a Canadian. You got no right to tell us we can solve our own problems. Point number one, you're not. Point number two, when I was in law enforcement, 28 years, and 5 years of that in the gang crime unit, I was taking automatic weapons away from gang members every so often. And those aren't available for sale in my country. Where did they come from? They came from the United States, where there isn't any gun control. I had one person tell me that the culture in the United States is different. Down here, he said, we're cowboys and adventurers. What episode of Marvel Comics are you living in? This is the real world. We've got people who are seriously suggesting we should give guns to teachers and that would solve the problem. First of all, you've got a room full of children. Where do those bullets go? So assuming you hit the target, do the bullets stay in that target? No, they go through it. Where do they end up after that? In a kid? What if you miss? What do you hit? What is the room full of? Children. Let's suppose somebody runs through the door right now and you've got a concealed weapon, is what people are saying. Teachers should have a concealed gun. Okay, how long will it take you to get that gun out and on target? If someone starts running at you with a knife and you've got a gun in a holster, not concealed, it's right out there where you can get at it, to get the gun out of the holster on target and fire one shot, that person has to be at least 27 feet away from you when they start running, or you will not be able to do it, I guarantee it. This is the thing that they train police officers in all the time, and ask a cop who will be honest with you, they'll tell you this. So in other words, the only way that teacher can honestly expect to have any hope of getting a gun on target, if someone suddenly runs in the door with a gun, is for the teacher to have the blackboard chalk in one hand and the gun in the other. That's absolutely nuts. You know what? It's time for people to march for our lives. It's people say, well, the NRA's got a deadlock. The NRA is a problem. The NRA is a bunch of very highly organized people, and they are very good at organizing themselves to put money where it's going to affect legislation and that sort of stuff. They're very, very vocal, and they are a minority. Same issue that I ran into when I was dealing with the satanic panic stuff back in the 80s and 90s. Very vocal minority. If everybody stands up and speaks, you outnumber them. You will take them down. You can solve this problem, but apathy is the problem, people. Time to speak out. You're the majority. Make your voice count. Go out there and be glorious.